लाहौर इस वक्त शदीद धुंध की लपेट में है। शहर और मज़ाफ़ात में हद निगाह इंतहाई कम हो गई। धुंध के बायस अल्लामा इकबाल एयरपोर्ट पर फ़्लाइट ऑपरेशन भी मुतासिर हैं। इसी वाले से मज़ीद तफ़सीलात जानते हैं। अंस ज़फ़र हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। जी अंस, आगाह कीजिएगा।
जी बिल्कुल, सूबाई दारुल-हुकूमत लाहौर इस वक्त शदीद धुंध की लपेट में है। शहर में हद निगाह इंतहाई कम हो चुकी है, जबकि जो शहर के मुदाफ़ात हैं, मैदानी इलाके हैं, वहाँ पर हद निगाह सिफर है, जिसकी वजह से मोटरवेज़ को ट्रैफिक की आमदोरफ्त के लिए बंद किया गया है। लाहौर सियालकोट मोटरवे ट्रैफिक की आमदोरफ्त के लिए बंद है, जबकि लाहौर से मुल्तान जाने वाली मोटरवे M3 फैज़पुर से दरखाना तक बंद है और लाहौर से इस्लामाबाद जाने वाली मोटरवे कोट मोमिन तक शाम को ही धुंध के बायस ट्रैफिक की आमदोरफ्त के लिए बंद कर दी गई थी। शहर के मैदानी इलाकों में जहाँ ज़्यादा हद निगाह कम है, उनमें एयरपोर्ट का इतराफ़ भी है। एयरपोर्ट के इतराफ़ में 50 मीटर तक महदूद होकर रह गए, जिसकी वजह से बैरून मुल्क जाने वाली 5 से ज़ायद परवाज़ें ताख़ीर का शिकार हो चुकी हैं। एयरपोर्ट इंतज़ामिया के मुताबिक जैसे ही धुंध की शिद्दत में कमी वाक़ई होगी तो परवाज़ों को रीशेड्यूल कर दिया जाएगा। दूसरी जानिब अगर शहर के मौसम के हवाले से बात करें तो लाहौर का टेम्परेचर इस वक्त 7 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड रिकॉर्ड किया जा रहा है। शहर में सर्दी भी शदीद है और सुबह सवेरे के औकात में भी शहर में टेम्परेचर मजीद गिरने का इम्कान है। जी,
ईरान और इसराइली हुकाम के दरमियान खुफिया पैगामात का तबादला, एक दूसरे पर पहले हमला ना करने का यकीन दिलाया। इसराइली अखबार के मुताबिक पेशरफ्त में रूस ने सालिसी का किरदार अदा किया है। अहम खबर से आपको आगाह कर रहे हैं। ईरान और इसराइली हुकाम के दरमियान खुफिया पैगामात का तबादला हुआ, एक दूसरे पर पहले हमला ना करने का यकीन दिलाया है। इसराइली अखबार के मुताबिक पेशरफ्त में रूस ने सालिसी का किरदार अदा किया। इसराइली अखबार के मुताबिक इसराइल और ईरान ने एक दूसरे को खुफिया पैगामात भेजे। इसराइल और ईरान ने एक दूसरे पर पहले हमला ना करने का यकीन दिलाया है। दोनों एक दूसरे पर पहले हमला नहीं करेंगे। इसराइली अखबार में ये बात सामने आई है। दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान रूस ने सालिसी का किरदार अदा किया है। अभी के लिए अहम खबर से आपको आगाह कर रहे हैं। ईरान और इसराइली हुकाम के दरमियान खुफिया पैगामात का तबादला हुआ, एक दूसरे पर पहले हमला ना करने का यकीन दिलाया है। इसराइली अखबार के मुताबिक पेशरफ्त में रूस ने सालिसी का किरदार अदा किया है। इसराइल और ईरान ने एक दूसरे को खुफिया पैगामात भेजे हैं। इसराइली अखबार में ये बात सामने आई है। ईरान और इसराइली हुकाम के दरमियान खुफिया पैगामात का तबादला, एक दूसरे पर पहले हमला ना करने का यकीन दिलाया। इसराइली अखबार के मुताबिक पेशरफ्त में रूस ने सालिसी का किरदार अदा किया है। अहम खबर से आपको आगाह कर रहे हैं। इसराइल और ईरान ने एक दूसरे को खुफिया पैगामात भेजे हैं। इसराइल और ईरान ने एक दूसरे पर पहले हमला ना करने का यकीन दिलाया है।
Also with us today is USDA National Nutrition Advisor, Dr. Ben Carson, my friend for a long time. We went head to head, and it was not easy going head to head with Ben. What is bad? He's great. He still looks good. That's because he drinks a lot of milk. And some of our nation's wonderful dairy farmers and their children, they're going to be farmers for a long time, we hope. As it currently stands, schools participating in the National School Lunch Program are only able to offer students low or non-fat milk options. That was changed during the Obama administration. A lot of people disagreed with it at the time. With this legislation, schools will finally be able to expand their offerings to include nutritious whole milk. It's actually a legal definition, whole milk. And it's whole with a W, for those of you that have a problem. Most of the media will get that. This is the perfect follow-up to the new real food pyramid, and Secretary Kennedy and Secretary Rollins announced that last week. You probably heard. This legislation also allows parents to directly request a substitute for milk for children with dairy intolerance. Previously, parents were required to submit a written statement from a doctor, but we're eliminating that rather ridiculous policy, allowing parents to choose what is best for their child, which is a big move. Hard to believe that that would be a big thing, but it is. And of course, these changes will be major victories for the American dairy farmers, who we love and who voted for me in great numbers, I will say. I think I got every one of them. In December, I also signed the Secure Rural Schools Reauthorization Act. And I'm proud to say that these two pieces of legislation will give school-age children across the country the resources and support that they need, not just to succeed, but really to thrive in life and later on in life. So I want to ask Secretary Rollins to say a few things, and then I'd like to ask Secretary Kennedy and Dr. Carson. I'd also like to hear from these great political leaders, senators, congressmen, if they'd like to say something. I'd be honored. So, Brooke, do you want to start?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And what a joy and an honor it is to be here. I feel like I have the best job in the world with representing all of these farmers. And Mr. President, not in our lifetime, has been a president who loves and supports our farmers more, and certainly the dairy farmers. I want to thank all of our farmers here today, sir. Most of them are 5th and 6th generation. They represent states from all across our country, and bringing the children to and seeing what the next generation of dairy farmers looks like. The amazing thing is some of these farmers back here from Butler, Pennsylvania, he milks.
Where?
Butler, Pennsylvania.
I love Butler. I do.
Yeah, and they love you. They love you. But he milks about 40 to 60 cows. And then we have Jamie from Wisconsin, who milks about 5,000 cows. So they represent all across the spectrum.
Wow.
And what this means. And I think it's important to note that in the last year, your support for these American farmers, for rural America, the One Big Beautiful bill was the largest investment in rural America in history. I think that's important to note. The trade, and I see my friend Jameson Greer over there and Howard Letnick on this end, we've opened up more than 24 different markets. Milk exports, dairy exports are up 23% just in the last year. And when you think about the ag deficit that happened under Joe Biden and the 4 years, we went from a surplus of agriculture products when we left the first time to a $50 billion deficit when we came back.
Yep.
So these are massive, massive wins for America, and I think it's important to note that. I also want to note, and you said it as well, that over a decade ago, Michelle Obama, in this very room, made an announcement on a short-sighted campaign to ditch whole milk in schools, and that's what we're working to fix today. Last week, Bobby Kennedy and Ben Carson and Dr. Oz and the whole crew, sir, announced the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2025 to 2030, which also reintroduced full-fat dairy into a healthy diet. And today, by signing this bill, Senator Marshall and Congressman Thompson and both, all the wonderful men to the right who worked so hard on this, Peter Welsh, it is a bipartisan issue, and understanding where we are in this country and how important the health of certainly our children are is so important. USDA is posting today the guidance. So we're signing the bill, and USDA, we're moving at Trump time, is posting today the new rulemaking that is necessary to get whole milk back into school lunches. So that's a really, really big deal.
So how long will that take?
It should just take a few weeks, and then the milk starts moving in. So it's a big announcement, sir, for our schools and our children. And I know Secretary Kennedy will talk a little bit about the health issues, so I won't do that. I'll skip over that. You mentioned, and the last thing I'll say, I know we're here to sign the bill on whole milk, but Senator Crapo's work and our wonderful friend Doug LaMalfa, who we lost way too soon,
right.
Their work on securing Rural Schools Reauthorization Act, how important that too is for rural America. 700 eligible rural counties across the nation are now guaranteed funds for schools and roads and infrastructure. So, sir, you say it all the time. Those are your people. They voted for you and with us and saw your vision from the beginning. This is who we're here to support today, in addition to the whole milk for healthy schools, which will help all children. Just remember, eat real food and drink whole milk. What a joy again it is to be here, and I especially want to thank all of our incredible farmers for what you do. So, sir, with that, I'll turn it over to Secretary Kennedy.
And just before you do that, how are we doing with food prices, bringing them down?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad you asked, because I brought a chart, and that just happened to be right behind me. So, speaking of milk, milk is actually way down, and I know we're here to talk about that today. Obviously,
44%.
That's right, sir.
44% down. Milk, 44% down.
Eggs is way down. Milk is way down. This is just since we took office, sir. Fresh whole chicken down 2%, cheese down, tomatoes down, butter down. Of course, eggs are way down. Potatoes down almost 3%, fresh fruits down almost 3%. But this is just the beginning. And as we continue to bring the cost of farming down, bring the cost of inputs down, open up the markets, support our farmers, we'll see even more affordability moving forward.
And eggs are down 31%, so
Yeah.
it's really something. Where's Bobby?
Bobby's right here. I'm going to switch with Bobby.
Right here, Mr. President.
Go ahead, wherever you are. Go ahead. Good to see you. We like Bobby.
And I want to echo what Brooke said about finally having a president that sees the alignment between farm prosperity,
That's right.
good food policy, and the health of our children. These are common sense associations. Democrats have been talking about them for eons. Republicans have been talking about them. We finally have a president that is implementing these policies and getting real food to our children. Today, President Trump signs the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2025, a long overdue correction to the school nutrition policy that puts children's health first. For years, Washington treated fat, especially saturated fat, as the enemy. It made a war on saturated fat. This is the peacetime president. He's made it 8.5 deals ending wars, and he's also ended the war on saturated fat. As a result, whole and 2% milk disappeared from school menus, even though science has never shown that whole milk harms children. Evidence increasingly shows the opposite. The panoply of nutrients in whole milk is critical to brain development and physical development in our children. Whole and 2% milk provide 13 essential ingredients critical for growth, development, immune system function, and overall health, including protein, calcium, vitamin D, and healthy fats. Yet since these milk options were removed more than a decade ago, school milk consumption and meal participation have declined dramatically. Today, between 68% and 94% of school-age boys and girls fail to meet recommended dairy intake, according to federal guidelines. When schools limit milk choices, the kids do not move to healthier substitutes. They move to caffeinated drinks, to sugar drinks, and to sweetened beverages with little or no nutritional value and the potential to wreak havoc on metabolic health, which is driving the chronic disease epidemic in our country. During the same period that whole milk was regulated out of lunchroom, rates of childhood obesity and diabetes rose significantly. Removing whole milk did not improve health, it damaged it. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, this law fixes that mistake. It allows schools in the National School Lunch Program to offer whole reduced fat, low fat, or fat-free, flavored or unflavored, organic or conventional. It restores choice to schools, parents, and students, and encourages consumption of nutrient-dense foods that kids will actually drink. The law also removes unnecessary bureaucracy, allowing parents or legal guardians to request milk substitutes